Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of The Deleuze Brothers. I'm Craig.
And I'm David. This week, we're going to talk about where it all began. That is partisan politics. Why I'm a Democrat and why he's a Republican. We grew up in the same house, but we believe in lots of different things.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that our values are different, but for some reason, it manifested in us being members of two different political parties. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I hope you enjoy this week's episode.
Ding, ding. Why am I a Democrat? Because I believe in the power of people. I believe in the power of people working together to solve solutions. That's what makes America great. The Democratic Party is the oldest party in America, and we have been there through the good times and the bad. Now, the Democratic Party doesn't have the greatest history, but by and large, and today, the Democratic Party stands for working families. The Democratic Party stands for voting rights. They stand for equal rights for everyone, no matter their station in life. As a Democrat, I have been part of some great movements, fighting for health care, fighting to keep our soldiers out of harm's way in wars that were unnecessary, fighting to make sure that people had a living wage, that they could take care of their families. Yes, the burden is high. Yes, the costs are high, but the benefits to our families and the people who love us is immeasurable. The Democratic Party is there for everyday folks. We're not there for the moneyed few. We're there for your family. We're there for the people that you believe in. That's why I'm a Democrat.
Why am I a Republican? It's simple, because those are the values that I was raised with. Although not by Republicans, but by two devout Democratic parents. They taught me about individual responsibility, that where I wind up in life is going to be a direct result of the choices that I make, the hard work that I put in, but also that I have a responsibility to society around me, my responsibility. They also taught me about individual rights, that I have certain inalienable rights that are given to me by God, and that I ought never allow those rights to be taken away. Now, fundamentally, you have two parties that disagree on this very simple concept. You have one party, the Republican Party, that believes that individual rights and individual responsibilities are preeminent. But then you have the Democratic Party, which believes that rights come from government, and therefore government has the ability to take those rights away. They also happen to believe that responsibility for society around us falls on the government, not us as individuals. So therefore, we wind up with a government system that grows and grows and is less and less effective in addressing the issues of our time. I am a Republican because I believe that the answers that we have, the solutions that we have, and the rights that we have belong to individuals. And that's why I'm a Republican. You know, David, you talked about the fact that the Democratic Party believes in diversity, and that diversity being ethnic diversity. But what they don't believe in is diversity of opinion or ideas. And I'll give you a great example. Who was the last pro-life person that you know of that's ever spoken at a Democratic Party convention?
I don't know.
Exactly. And that's because if you don't think the way they do, if you're not pro-union, pro-choice, or pro-abortion, if you're not pro-same-sex marriage, pro-enviro leftist, then you are not you're not welcome in the Democratic Party.
Well, I disagree. I think the Democrats allow a bunch of different people into leadership. I think you'll find that we have blue dog Democrats who, you know, as a matter of fact, Harold Ford has been one of the leaders in the Blue Dog Democratic Caucus, where they believe in a strong defense. They believe in fiscal conservatism. They believe in circumscribing, I think, the reach of government to the point where it's not too intrusive in the lives of individual Americans. I think you'll find we have our business caucus. We have a very strong business caucus that believes in free markets, or, you know, more free than what other folks would like to
as long as it's free for them.
Yeah, exactly, free for them. We got it. But I think the point is that there is a diversity there. But I'll tell you, Craig, one of the things that bothers me most is that every 4 years when I watch on television, I see the Republican convention, and you guys know where I'm going with this.
I know where he's going with this.
There's 3 black people in the whole 4 or 5 nights that they have, and they rotate the same 3 or 4 black people in the convention hall. And my frustration with the Republican Party is that you make no real effort to really create a party that reflects America writ large, the America that actually exists today in 2014, not the America where only white, male, Protestant landowners could actually cast a ballot. But when you look at your convention, it doesn't reflect that. Now, just real quick, on my side, the Democrats, we have a quota system, basically, where we say, there are groups, we're going to make sure that our party, but we have to work at it, Craig.
Right.
And so working at it results and it creates a richer, more vibrant party that we can't always agree, we can't always get along, and we can't always come to a tight decision. But politics and democracy is messy.
But David, my issue though is that when you look at those who are involved, once again, they're not people of differing opinions. The people who rise to the top are the people who are in the pockets of those that control the Democratic Party. In the end, they may be in the front pocket or the left or the back pocket. They may be in the vest pocket or in the shirt pocket. But in the end, they're in the pockets of those entities that shovel money into the Democratic Party and in the end control the mind of the Democratic Party. The thing about the Republican Party, I'll say, is this, is that there's a lot of growing that needs to take place in the Republican Party and a lot that we need to do. And I hate the term outreach, but really it's about connecting with a broader swath of America and who America is. I get that. But one of the things that I find interesting is that it's a party, though, that judges you based on your success, not the color of your skin. It judges you based on the content of your character, not on the fact of whether or not you're black or brown or you're white.
So all the white people that show up at your convention, those are the best and brightest in the Republican Party. Those are the ones that have the most commitment, the most to benefit society. Those are the ones. All those white people, and there's there's no black Republicans out there. Let me clarify. There's no Latino Republicans that actually deserve to be.
There are plenty, and if you'd actually been to one of the conventions, and I've been to a few,
in the back, right?
I've been to a few Republican conventions, and they're there. We're there,
mopping the floors.
Well, no, you have states. Well, first of all. Let's just be real clear. Places like California, we don't know, because we have tend to have the largest delegations. We don't always get the premier seats right up front. So unfortunately, that's kind of big dog kind of gets to sit in the back, but that's okay. But my point is that you look at who represents us. Look at who represents us. Look at on stage. Last time on stage, it was interesting at the last conventions. Republicans had more African Americans and more Latinos in major elected positions representing them on the stage than did the Democratic Party. You can't disagree with that.
No, actually, to see the diversity and to see some of the growth that the National Party has, some of the bench, if you will, I think is really encouraging, and I'd like to see more of it. But
here's what I don't want, though. What I don't want to have happen in our party is an affirmative action program where, because you can speak and articulate yourself and you happen to be brown skinned, that we're now going to put you up as our poster child. That's what I don't want to see happen.
No, I don't want to see that either. And I think that's
because Democrats don't even care if you can articulate yourself.
That's not even true. Don't listen to him. You guys have seen the Democratic convention. You know who gets up on stage.
I do know the Democrats throw better parties.
Yes, we do.
I have to admit
yes, we
that.
do.
Yeah.
We don't just serve cookies and punch. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's right.
All right, David, here's my question. Seeing as how none of our audience members sent a question, I get to ask a question. Yeah, shame on y'all. Anyway, so how do you reconcile being a member of a party who often promotes policies that work against what you claim to be some of your core values or your core constituencies?
Right. Well, for me, I think it's a couple of different things. One is that I look at where else can I go? And when I look at the Republican Party, there's very little that I can, quite honestly, stomach outside of some of the fiscal policies that the Republican Party espouses. But the social policy right now, particularly the ultra-conservative Tea Party-based issues around immigration, around same-sex marriage, and all, and it's just something I just don't believe that it squares entirely with, I think, the spirit of my faith and just where I think people need to be. Good question. Craig, what's your opinion of the Republican Party's efforts at diversity?
Wow. Well, first I'll say that one of the areas that the Republican Party has been successful in terms of diversity has been in terms of diversity of opinion and diversity of ideas. In other words, in the Republican Party, you can find people who are pro-choice or pro-life in leadership within the party. You can find people who stand on different ends of affirmative action, on people who maybe stand in different areas on traditional marriage or on immigration. In the Democratic Party, there is no diversity of opinion. If you are not pro-illegal immigration, if you are not pro-abortion, if you are not pro-Obamacare, if you're not in lockstep with them on most issues, on all issues, then pretty much you are forbidden from being in leadership in the Democratic Party. So that's the one area where I believe that the Republican Party has been successful. The challenge that I've had with the Republican Party has been in that the Republican Party has yet to understand that there are subcultures within this country whose American experience is different. And it doesn't make it any less an American experience. Right. And it's important to understand that American experience and understand how our values apply and can help address some of the challenges that come along with that experience. And
there you have it, folks. You've heard from the Democrats and you've heard from the Republicans.
So let us know what you think. Go to our Facebook page and let us know who you think won this battle. Was it Craig DeLuz? Was it David DeLuz? Was it the right or wrong?
Left, Craig.
I always keep forgetting that, confusing left and wrong. Anyway, thanks for joining us this week, and we hope you'll come back soon.